Relevant Magazine. This is the Relevant Podcast.
No matter what, one foot after the other. When times are tight, you can never let it get you down.
It's the week of Friday, October 28, 2016, and it's the Relevant Podcast, Halloween weekend. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by Squarespace. You know how I like to celebrate Halloween?
How's that?
Building websites. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, professional blog, or an online store, which is how every Halloween I launch a new online store. It's all included with Squarespace. Building a site with Squarespace is easy. They have a simple, intuitive process and beautiful templates that you can arrange and rearrange and add your own content. Whether you want to keep it pretty straightforward or customize everything, you can do all without a single plugin. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, I know we talk about Squarespace a lot, but my love for them will never fade. Like, it is incredible how smart Squarespace is. And I think I've said this before.
Super easy to make little Halloween websites, you know?
This is their number one.
Halloween.
This is their big time of year for them, is people making Halloween sites. I would love to see their spike in server usage on Halloween.
Yeah,
Just sites dedicated to their favorite candies.
Yeah. Oh.
Which, by the way, I want to thank the people on Twitter who affirmed my love of score bars. They knew what they were, and
we've blocked them from downloading this episode.
Yeah.
So.
I also feel like there was not quite the outcry for more candy talk that I was expecting. So if anybody wants to start a Squarespace site, bring candytalkback.com.
Or just you guys could take it online and do a Squarespace site and make it like a blog and just like have a dialogue about candy.
I'd like it to be more of a featured part of this show.
Oh, okay.
That I don't want to create a new audience.
Right.
I want to latch on to this audience.
Squarespace makes adding a domain to your site simple. If you sign up for a year, you'll receive a free custom domain with your order, and they have awesome customer support. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter offer code RELEVANT to get 10% off your first purchase. It's worth it. Squarespace.com. Well, like I said, I'm your host, Cameron. Here with me in our Orlando studios, Eddie Big Cat Koffoltz.
And happy Halloween, guys.
Over there on the ones and twos, my brother, our producer, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
And all the way from Portland, Oregon, Joy Eggerich-Reed.
Boo.
I can already feel people begging for more candy talk. Can't you tell? Something just changed.
Does anybody own candytalk.com?
Cameron, I've actually turned into you. I bought like 3 domains this week.
Exactly.
Wow.
You come up with funny like phrases and stuff, and like, yeah, I need to lock that down.
But you know what's kind of sad is I have old domains that sometimes I just let expire because I'm like, that was a dream deferred. Like,
oh no!
Like,
When they come up for renewal, it's a reminder
scare.
of your once ambitions that have now faded.
3 years ago, I had an idea for a podcast, and I bought the domain. And yesterday, I was like, I don't think I'm going to ever start.
Candytalk.com is taken.
Oh
No! Who owns candytalk.com?
Yeah, and how much do they want for it? More
It doesn't tell you that.
Yeah.
Do a WIOS search. It's so easy to do.
Or we can just pull up candytalk.com.
Well,
It's
you gotta be careful, though.
Uniregistry.com. It's available. They're just squatting on it, and they want you to make an offer.
Hey, Cameron, can I put my phone number in there and get a quote, please? Or am I going to get a lot of weird spam text messages?
I'm going to sign you up real quick to get a
Please do.
to get
Please
a price
do.
quote.
Because Cameron, do you know what my hope is? I want you to put only my phone number, not my email, because I want to talk to the person on the phone that owns this. I want to use my man-to-man or man-to-woman negotiation skills. I feel like this would better be conducted. It would be more effective for me to talk to them on the phone than over email. I feel like I can get this on the cheap for us. Cameron, put if possible, put a little note in that form that says "does not accept text messages," so that we can be guaranteed this is a phone
Jesse,
call.
you're going to
from the
get a
man that
call
owns-
from Ryan May. He's
Ryan
the
May.
domain broker
Oh.
at uniregistry.com, and he's the one who represents Candy Talk.
But I want to play hardball with this guy, and my goal is to get it. I feel like that it's only worth to us about $10, so that's my goal.
I'd pitch in 5, so we're up to 15.
Yeah, because they got to make some money above what they paid, that $12 they paid for it.
Right.
So
Okay, here's what I know about negotiation. Coming into the deal, we have to know what the bottom line number is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that I can come in at like a third of that.
yeah,
Right. So
So let's say it's $25.
I'm in for 10. Yeah, so you're 5,
I'm
I'm
in for
10,
10.
he's 10, so that's $25. Oh, $30.
$30.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm
Chandler's
gonna.
not
Once
in.
Ryan calls me, I'm gonna be like, Ryan, let's cut to the chase here. There's no time for chit chat. It's Halloween season. Candy Talk's for sale. We're already running late on this thing. $15. I'm walking if you say no.
Right.
Eventually, I prove to be a reasonable person and double what I'm willing at 30. That's the strategy. Agreed?
Agreed. $30, candytalk.com. We will build a
Walk
Squarespace
away.
site with it. We will change the world, and we will bring back the show that people are, at this point, blowing up Twitter for. They're just clamoring for.
I'm gonna tell Ryan. Ryan, I just want to let you know before we get started in these negotiations, my thumb is hovering above the red hang up button right now. I am prepared. I am prepared at any moment to press that button. I'm about to hang up right now. They have to know that you're a walk-in at any moment. Okay, as soon as the transaction begins, just let them know. You know, I'm thinking about walking right now. I'm walking.
Even sometimes you tell them you can't hear them, like just to prove that you've started walking.
I can't hear you. Yeah, it's breaking up.
Bad reception. Actually, probably got to go. It looks like I'm getting a call from another domain broker.
Speaking of bad reception, that brings up something I wanted to address on today's show.
Oh, I really would have liked you have not.
I
just
have
gone
some
for
things
it.
that I need to read to you guys as well, Cameron, about this.
Yeah, so last week we brought onto the show our good friend, our hero, Tim Tebow. And we told you that our editorial director, Aaron Hanbury, has been saying since the day we hired him what good childhood friends he and Mr. Tebow were.
Yeah.
And that it would be a joy of his to do an interview with his old friend Tim Tebow.
Well, I thought it was
here
endearing.
on Relevant.
I thought it was endearing because they recorded the interview on their old tin can phones that they used when they were kids.
What?
Nailed it. Next joke.
Hold on. There's two things I'd like to bring up about last week's show. And if you didn't hear it, there were some issues with the audio quality. Now, I'm not saying if you didn't hear it, go back and listen. It is a awful listening experience. It is an awful listening experience. Yeah. And I apologize to those of you who did.
I did what I could.
I accept your apology, but it's still Tim Tebow, so I was okay with it.
The multitudes of you out there contacted us this week and gave us your theories and conspiracy theories about why you think the audio quality was so bad.
They're all Tennessee, Georgia fans, believe me.
Some of the tweets caught our eye. Now, I want to give, we were hypothesizing last week that maybe Aaron and Tebow weren't as good of friends as they said they were.
That's right.
Oh, they definitely barely know each other.
And Jesse said, why don't we just listen to this podcast together and listen to see if this sounds like two old friends catching up, or if it sounds like, oh, you grew up in Jacksonville too.
It's like when Jesse and I started on the podcast, like I saw Jesse in person last week.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Jesse and I talk. Jesse, what have been some things you're interested in lately?
Yeah.
Jesse, tell me about your new book.
Right. So we were all listening for that. And not only did we hear, we didn't hear just, the nuance of their conversation.
Yeah.
There's this whole audio issue thrown into the mix that you guys actually ran with and said this is adding to the conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Joya is on the other side of the country in what can only be generously described as some sort of home dungeon, and we can hear her beautifully.
Just fine.
It makes no sense that Tim Tebow, probably the greatest baseball player that has ever lived, cannot be heard very, very clearly.
Peter Zip asked us on Twitter, did Tebow do his side of the interview on a fast food drive-through speaker?
Aaron, I like this one from @DarcyDarge. Aaron's lie about knowing Tebow caught up with him. He had no choice but to do both voices and scramble the audio. Genius.
Rael James says, I think the true sign of Aaron's friendship with Tebow was shown by the audio line Tim secured. That's how little he thought of Aaron.
I like the doing both voices theory.
Yeah.
One user said that he thinks the devil corrupted Tim Tebow audio. It was just too much truth, which that's valid
that's true.
too.
Spiritual warfare is a real thing. As we know, one of Aaron's calling cards, one of his claims to fame is that he and Tebow, when they were small children, took baths together.
Yeah.
Yoinks.
And Jackie Anderson on Twitter said, so Tebow was in the bathtub during this week's interview. Garbly glub glub.
What was the deal? I couldn't figure out, like, why did it sound? Because even if he had just
I'm
called from
wondering
an
if he was
iPhone-
in a convertible.
Going down the Autobahn.
So we thought, okay, having now read all of these theories that y'all have, and there are many more, and we appreciate all of the attention the interview segment got in Twitter this week on Twitter. We thought we should invite Aaron in to give us the scoop, the truth. On his relationship with Tebow and why he thinks Tim thinks so little of him that he would call in on an old-timey phone from the past.
First question, Aaron, my long-standing friend. How long have you worked at Relevant?
May 4th, 2015.
Year and a half.
Was day one.
So what happened?
Star Wars Day.
So just can you cut through and get to the point where you tell us you actually don't know Tebow?
Okay, let me say this real quick, and this is something that Aaron really has to answer for.
Yeah.
On Monday morning,
Aaron
jumped on Slack, which is our inter-office the inter-office communication we use. A lot of people are familiar. Anyway, he sent me a couple pictures from his childhood. Okay, so it shows what is clearly a little boy, Aaron, and with him, this is true, is a gigantic boy, Tim Tebow. Like, Tim Tebow is about the size, he's the size of a grown man, and Aaron is clearly a little boy. My conclusion is that him and his mother photoshopped him over the weekend so that he could supply them as evidence. And they got the dimensions way off. Aaron, please answer for that.
See, the narrative is off there because those actually came in response to Jesse spreading these lies about Tim and I actually not knowing each other. And I supplied proof, and there were multiple photos.
I don't know.
It wasn't just one.
Hey, on Twitter, PC Walker says, I think the shaky audio of the interview just proves Jason doesn't know Tim Tebow.
Jason doesn't know Tim Tebow.
That's what he says.
So here's the thing. If we weren't old friends, he would feel a lot of pressure to get like an NPR style studio and really lay it out. But since we're old buddies just hanging out,
he could do it while on the back of a motorcycle.
He was wearing his audio sweatpants, just chilling out, and didn't think it was a big deal. He was like, "It's just Aaron. I can just call from my Bluetooth
while I'm on my motorcycle."
Okay, Aaron. One other person, because we brought up, because this is the more evidence that you've supplied. This anecdote is more evidence that you supplied of just how good buddies you are. That at one time when you were toddlers or babies, that you would bathe together. Yeah. Another theory that's been proposed on Twitter.
Bathing together in terms of when you say it like that, a little mischaracterizes.
Then why don't you clarify it?
What was kiddie pool?
Anybody who's ever been around kids knows that playing in the bathtub and bathing together are not necessarily the same thing.
You are really, really splitting hairs here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This is total.
Your whole story's falling apart.
David from Making a Murderer. Keep going.
But one user theorized that the interview was so bad because you guys were bathing. We were in the bath again. Is that incorrect? maybe his microphone fell underwater.
I'd prefer not to comment on the bath interview.
Okay.
Wow.
So I heard that you also received a wedding gift from Tim Tebow, a frame.
Yes.
And you didn't use it because you dropped it. Is that correct?
No, we used it, and then trying to put up some blinds, I knocked it over.
Knocked it over.
Interesting.
Okay, well,
what did the frame look like?
It was crystal.
Crystal.
Ooh, wow.
Jesse theories that it was like a $20 Target run.
Did you text him after the interview to thank him for the interview?
I did.
What did he reply?
Always fun.
He said,
thanks.
"New phone, who dis?"
Yeah. Believe it or not,
Jason quit texting me.
Aaron, what's your response to people on Twitter who said if you were real friends, he would have called you on a landline?
How do you respond to those?
I'm not old enough to respond to landline based phone conversations.
Yeah.
Zingers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the question. Okay, let's say
because I've got a decision.
Okay.
We all have to make a vote.
Yeah,
at the end,
Jesse, have you circulated those photos?
No, maybe we can put them on the podcast episode
Jesse's
page because here's the thing. Tebow is gigantic in them. It makes no sense. The only thing it makes sense is that hastily over the weekend, Aaron found some boyhood pictures of Tebow
exactly.
and photoshopped them, but the error was he didn't resize them for the new setting, and that's why Tebow is larger than every other child in Aaron's old.
Because they're only 6
album.
months apart, right? So he shouldn't be that much huger.
There's a reason one of us went with a finger-based career, and the other went with
Jesse,
a
I haven't
quarterbacking career.
I haven't seen the picture you're talking about, but I am picturing something that the relevant art guy would have done, where like there's a
Interesting.
a tub. There's little baby Aaron in it, and then there's like actual Tim Tebow standing in the water
in a Denver Broncos uniform. That's what's so weird.
Yeah. If you happen to have that on your computer, Allard, send it to us because we'd love to see what you do with Aaron Hanbury. Photos easily available on Facebook.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. What's your conclusion? Do you think that Aaron and Tebow were friends?
Absolutely not. They don't know each other. Like, there's no chance. Aaron's like a sweet man, but a gigantic
I feel like I'm
liar.
getting no legitimate questions on this.
I
This
will
is a
say,
totally
here's
leading
can I get my
investigation.
conclusion?
Yeah.
My conclusion is not only are they not friends, but I think Tebow will soon be issuing a restraining order against this Aaron.
I feel like I could be convinced that they're friends if I could see a screenshot of their text messaging interaction and if Tim uses emoticons.
He deleted 30,000 text messages just last week. So
Funny thing, my server just crashed. I don't have any of these messages anymore.
You know what? Have we ever thought about this? He is such a giver. You know, he's a selfless person.
Right.
He builds orphanages. He gives to others. Maybe he has chosen a vow of pseudo poverty where he doesn't want to spend $800 on a new iPhone. He wants to give that to the Philippine orphans.
Yes.
So he actually only carries like a $20 burner phone. That
like a June bug or
the
something.
speaker's blown out on. And so all of his calls sound that bad.
Maybe he wants to be generous with a guy who's claiming to be his best friend from childhood, and so he's just going with it for Aaron.
My question is, what if any of us sent him a wedding invite? Do we just get a crystal frame?
Yeah, because he's so generous.
He's just got a garage full of crystal frames.
Dear friend, thanks so much for inviting me. Sorry I can't make it. And then crystal frame. Everybody's got a crystal frame.
So like the kids who would like write to their heroes and ask for an autograph,
right?
And then eventually a signed autograph will come back. If you write to Tebow as a fan, he will reply with a crystal frame. That's your theory.
That's my theory, certainly. I mean, I feel like that is still more plausible than gigantic baby and little man or whatever in a bathtub and all of this craziness.
Jesse, I
disagree. I think all of these random stories just validate it.
Jesse, I just received the photos you sent, and I'm gonna go. I see clearly the 14-year-old Tebow with the 6-year-old boys. What I don't see is a child that looks anything like Aaron Hanbury.
That's actually a really.
So you're thinking not only did you're so Cameron. Your theory is not only did Aaron haphazardly Photoshop a gigantic Tebow in pictures with little boys, but he didn't even do it with little boys that include him.
No, it's just 80s boys.
They're just
early 90s
photos.
boys. Then he found
This is just Sears catalog pictures with Tebow Photoshopped them.
He Googled early 90s boys and then Tebow, and then he spliced it together and said, that's me. I look different when I was a kid.
All these theories are so plausible.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
picture. Y'all are
picture.
doing such a good job really nailing this down.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture. There's no way.
In one of them,
I'd like to see it.
In
Send
one
it
of
to me,
the,
Jesse.
one of them, there's evidence that Tim Tebow is 21 years old in the picture, and Aaron is a child.
I mean, Tebow is clearly a freshman at Florida in that one where he's standing next to the 12-year-olds. Yeah.
It's so true. He's even wearing like a shirt that a
He's
freshman
wearing a
at
gator
Florida would wear.
blue polo.
He's literally holding a newspaper
His parents met at
from
Florida. They're just a gator
2004
family.
up to the camera to prove what year it is.
Holding the newspaper. That's what he's doing.
That's what it is. It's more of a hostage-esque situation.
All right.
Cameron, do you see that one little kid that it presumably is in the same class as them? He's no more than 4 years old.
Well, what we learned today, Aaron. Next time, use a Skype line.
Yes,
I think
please. No, what we learned.
I was on the Skype line.
This was a major point of conversation.
Big.
What we learned, I want to say this to the listeners. What we learned is what happened last week with Aaron's childhood friend will never happen again. We have new audio quality control measures that we have implemented to prevent last week's fiasco from happening.
Mostly, it's just buying Tim Tebow an iPhone.
Well, thanks for coming on, Aaron, for clearing it up. I appreciate it.
Go Gators.
You were. You're welcome for clearing all that up.
yeah. Just that guy.
Hey, next time you guys are hanging out, bring a little recorder with you, and let's get a clean conversation.
That's true. And you could like Snapchat so everybody can just see us.
And Rella Art, thanks in advance for what you are going to do.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talk to Lupita Nyong'o, who's starring in the brand new Queen of Katwe film.
What was her big breakout movie that she was so incredible in a couple years ago?
12 Years a Slave,
Holy
and also a little
smokes.
movie you may have heard of called Star Wars.
Oh my gosh, 12 Years a Slave.
Well, no, that little indie flick, Star Wars, she was pretty good in that.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Nope, never.
It's good. You should check it out.
Oh, interesting.
It's probably
I'll
on
check.
Netflix or
Is it
something.
Enzion or something?
And also, kind of later, Aaron comes back with all of his childhood buddies, and we do the new magazine preview. The new issue of Relevant, the November issue, is out officially this week, and we tell you about. It's one of our most exciting issues in a long time, so we're
absolutely
excited to tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But up first, it's time for our look back at what happened this week in culture and entertainment. It's time for
In case you missed it.
Well, in case you missed it, our friend John Christ and Aaron Tuning, those humorists who do those Christian parody viral videos, they did the How to Get a Christian Song recorded last week.
That was
They've done a number
on
of,
point.
Yeah, well, they've done a number
They
of
did do a Christian dating one where he's the Christian mingle inspector to make sure that the
Awesome.
dating people are actually Christians.
Love that.
Right. Well, this week John Christ released a new one, and it's a parody video for the fake organization Millennial International. You can adopt a millennial. It's a spot-on Compassion International type humanitarian thing. Here's a clip of it.
The need is enormous. There are over 10 million millennials out there who have graduated with no work ethic, no job, no discernible skills at all, and they have expenses.
Housing,
student loans,
credit card debt.
And I didn't really realize the magnitude of the problem until I looked into the eyes of a millennial. And I saw that face with the dead, nothing's happening up here kind of thing. So I went out to the booth after the service and I talked with the guy, and he really informed me about the devastation that's not being able to fund a millennial lifestyle.
core power yoga,
Birchbox for men.
I looked over all the envelopes and my heart was really touched when I saw this one particular fellow that I just had to get more information about him. He was Declan from Beverly Hills.
I am aspiring photographer. I graduated college with an art degree, so obviously that puts me at a disadvantage.
Volkswagen Jetta lease,
Beard wax.
Spotify Premium.
In his last letter, he wrote to me and said that his weekend was, how did he put it? Totes lit fam. Literally have no idea what that means.
Spin Cycle membership.
Pet food for my rescue dog.
Uber's home from a pub crawl.
A typical sponsorship program costs $29 a month. Millennial International is actually $2,900 a month.
Love him. I like the little. He's so good at making his videos painfully authentic. Like I know it's a little tiny point, but like when whoever was speaking, the main speaker just like stutters, and I thought it makes me feel like, oh, this is way too real. It's so good.
In case you missed it, this week it was announced that the new Lando Calrissian in the upcoming Han Solo Star Wars movie
Best casting
is going to be Donald Glover.
ever.
I almost said Danny Glover. That would be totally different.
That would actually be backwards casting.
Yeah,
Like,
the older
wait,
Lando.
I thought it was a backstory. Well,
So just like Rogue One, so you've got the episode. I was explaining this to my mother at dinner last night. So every other year, you're going to have a new episode 7, and then every other year.
but there's already
And
been
on-
a Star Wars.
And then in the in-between years, you're going to have Star Wars stories. This year, December, Rogue One comes out. The next one in 2 years after that will be on Han Solo, and the young Lando Calrissian will be Danny Glover.
When are they going to do one on
Donald
Spock?
Glover.
I like him.
Yeah, so there you go.
I do think it's great casting because Donald Glover is not only like a cool cultural figure. He also has sort of that, and I mean this in an endearing way, like nerd cred. You know,
Yes.
like from his role on Community, and he kind of has that credibility that I think people who are more into Star Wars than maybe something like Atlanta are still going to have an appeal because they sort of trust his geeky cultural taste.
The Star Wars franchise continues to just be more and more amazing.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I realized the other day that I had a Luke Skywalker toothbrush, but I realized I had it for a long time, and I was like, why didn't my mom ever get me a new toothbrush? Right? It feels like you should change toothbrushes pretty frequently.
I've heard every 3 months.
Yeah.
Every 3 months?
That's what I've heard.
What? How long
I
do you change
am
your
like
toothbrush?
9 months behind then.
Oh, you change yours once a year?
Jesse, you don't want to wait till the bristles are gray.
Cameron, mine's I didn't have any bristles left. I'm just rubbing my teeth with plastic at this point.
Hold on. Can we get a quick survey here? This is actually the next in case you missed it. In case you missed it, electric toothbrushes are great for your gums. Jesse, what kind of electric toothbrush do you have?
I don't need any newfangled technology.
You know
like
what he
that.
brushes his teeth with? You know those horsehair shoe shine brushes?
You totally see on Portlandia.
I use that and a little wet baking soda, and I'm fine. Hey guys, so sorry, I don't mean to interrupt toothbrush talk, but I have breaking news I'd like to chime in with.
Okay.
I was just contacted by a domain broker that wants to set up a call. I just received an email. Yeah, I'm going to reply that, hey, listen, this call will be recorded and broadcast. If you're out, you're out. Then I see what kind of broker you are. But I have a feeling he wants the business. He's fine. Listen. If he's good at what he does, he's going to relish in the opportunity to show the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free advertising for him.
Hey, in case you missed it, you've heard of those I Am Second videos?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This week, an I Am Second came out with Chip and Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper.
Still doing them in all black and white with the black behind it?
It's not black and white, but it is like
black, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
It was really powerful. They talk about their personality flaws, how their marriage has changed their lives, and here's a clip.
I have learned so much about order and structure and processes through my wife, and God is all of those things to me now. But at the beginning, God was just chaotic to me. He was wild. He was untamed. He was unruly, and I liked that.
But God had a funny way of bringing me Chip to almost have this reality of what it's like to follow Christ, which is a lot of the things are going to push you to a place of discomfort. A lot of things are going to push you to a place of freaking out. It takes someone who's externally whatever that
processes, yeah.
Because it helps me get it out there, because it's healthier to be out there than it is just let it all kind of play in my mind. I don't want to be in the box anymore. I don't want to play it safe, because where the impact is over here on the other side.
Interesting note on the piano there, Chandler Strang.
Really? He was in a tuxedo. They brought him in, and he played live.
And he was actually, if you can't see it, but he was in the shot. He was just in the background.
He was in the shot,
on a grand piano. He would flip the coattails every once in a while. And
another side note, I believe Tim Tebow did an I Am Second, and the audio was flawless. So you might want to relay that to Aaron.
Almost perfect.
Chip and Joe are, even if I'm not into like home
I call her
renovation.
JoJo.
Chippy and Joey.
Yeah, Chip and JoJo. I'm not into home renovation, but I watched the show because they are entertaining and charming. And I was reading, it was like a BuzzFeed listicle a while ago about like 50 thoughts, something random, like 50 thoughts you have while watching Fixer Upper, and like halfway through, it was just reasons why the listicle writer, who's some millennial BuzzFeed writer, wanted Chip and Joe to adopt her, and she could be part of their gaggle of kids.
I kind of watch their marriage and think of what I think you and Dana are like in the day-to-day, where you're crazy and untethered, and she's just the rock that keeps everybody in formation.
That I'd probably be dead or in prison if she wasn't there.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. In case you missed it, Jimmy Kimmel has a segment on his show called Mean Tweets, where he'll have a celebrity come on and actually read actual tweets, terribly mean tweets that people have written about that person live. And it's hysterically funny and unbelievably uncomfortable. Well, this week, in case you missed it, President Obama came on the show and did the Mean Tweet segment. It's the second time the president has participated in this segment, though it's the first in which he got compared to Nickelback. Here is a clip.
Barack Obama is the Nickelback of presidents. Obama couldn't negotiate getting a Whopper without pickles at Woodstock Dave. Thanks, Dave. I bet Obama likes mustard on his hot dogs because he's gross.
What a weird insult.
Just found out my daughter shares a birthday with Obama. Puke in caps. At Mom of Four Munchkins.
This next one's my favorite.
Barack Obama dances like how his jeans look. you know, this jeans thing. This is so old. This was years ago. Come on.
That's this one. I like the.
My mom bought new conditioner, and it sucks. It isn't even conditioning my hair. I blame Obama. Barack Obama.
You know, my favorite part about it was the jeans one. He seemed a little bothered by it.
Yeah.
Well, I lifted the ban on Cuban cigars. That's worth something. Barack Obama is the Sharknado of presidents. Loud, stupid, and overhyped. Hashtag Sharknado4.
There you go. That's
yeah,
funny.
like I said, for some reason he seemed legitimately a little bothered by the jean comment still.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like him wearing those, you know, they almost pleated Gap jeans that just bowed out awkwardly at the thigh.
Lovely,
you know?
sensible pair of dungarees.
Yeah. Plenty of room. I think the reason he chose them is because he was throwing out like a first pitch at a baseball game.
Yeah.
When he put them on. So you know, if you're doing like a high kick, right, a full wind up, you got to have some leg room here. You can't get like a fitted pair. But he didn't even go boot cut. He just went like super awkward dad jeans, but he's never living that down. And you can tell at some level it's still bothersome.
All right, in case you missed it, last one. This week, Mel Gibson and Joel Osteen had a conversation about Gibson's upcoming follow-up to the movie The Passion of the Christ, right?
Yeah.
So Joel Osteen asked Mel if the movie would be about the resurrection, and Gibson replied, "We're getting into some interesting ideas on this, that between the crucifixion and the resurrection, like what was going on in there?" And then Gibson also said that the challenge of telling this kind of Bible story is approaching it from an angle that will be surprising to audiences, even if they're familiar with the New Testament. He said, you do it so that it surprises. You do it so that it enlightens. Just some kind of telling, some kind of rendering that suffices is just not good enough. It has to be dug deep for, and it has to have in its image and in its sound and its visuals, it has to be able to delve to places that people have never even thought before, I think, on a theological level. No release date's been announced yet, but he's going to do something surprising about the resurrection. That sounds intriguing.
I think the most interesting part of that comment was not that it was going to be interesting, you know, visually, and it was going to look different, but that it was going to be surprising on a theological level.
That's interesting.
Well, because if there's any story in the Bible or any part of the Bible that has been unpacked over and over again, it is, from a theological perspective, it's the crucifixion and resurrection. So what Mel Gibson as a filmmaker can do to create surprises, that's even going to challenge people's theology, I think is interesting. I'm sure it gives some people pause, but I think I'm excited to see it.
What would be most surprising, but I think he should do, I mean, it's long overdue, is that he should partner up with Carmen, who did The Champion, and really did some surprising theological twists with this exact story. And so maybe Carmen should do the soundtrack.
Carmen was one of the on a theological level. Carmen was one of the most challenging filmmakers there were. There is a Carmen video where he walks into a saloon as like some sort of gunfighter and just starts slaughtering demons while singing a song. It's pretty impressive.
Is that connected to the same one where he was in the boxing ring?
No. It's totally different. That was
Obviously.
The Champion. And that's the one I'm talking about. It goes like this.
These are classics, man.
8.5 minutes long, this song.
Yeah.
We will now listen in its entirety.
Yeah. I had this on VHS.
And now, a very relevant Halloween special.
In the vast expanse of a timeless place, where silence ruled the outer space, ominously towering it stood, the symbol of a spirit war between the one named Lucifer and the shining star, the ultimate of good.
You really, really, really needed to go to public school.
46 seconds we're into this song.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to have a dramatic.
But see, Carmen knew how to unpack it.
Yeah. And in case you were wondering, he did surprisingly cast himself as sort of the Christ figure in this story,
So it
which was an
shocking.
interesting direction for him.
I'm just going to the drum. The drums kick in. And then we're done.
And death and the
Oddly, this is audio directly from the Olstein interview.
Yeah. This is
Mel
Act
Gibson
1
doing
of the
the
new
voice of
movie.
Yeah, this is Mel Gibson replying.
They're actually doing a human video enacting this on Joel Osteen's stage.
Oh,
Mel Gibson's wearing black t-shirt.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
All right, well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices. You're listening to Tin Fey. The song is Turn. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Little Monarch with No Matter What. I like to think of myself as a little monarch.
Yeah, little Napoleon.
just have a little kingdom.
Yeah.
Or, no, I'm a little butterfly.
Oh, I didn't know if you were going butterfly or kingdom.
Yeah, I was thinking butterfly.
Just a little ruler.
Little tiny
Flapping
man.
those wings.
Kind of like the picture of Aaron next to large Tim Tebow.
He's just a little tiny Aaron Monarch.
Next to gigantic, full-grown man Tim Tebow.
Who he does not
He's
know.
blowing a butterfly.
You can literally see the place where they put tape on the picture. And
Yeah, what's so striking is Aaron, if we even believe one of those little boys is him, is no more than 7. And it appears Tebow is about to walk up and receive the Heisman Trophy. So
he's wearing
the same suit that he wore Heisman night. So.
Yeah, he's got a beard.
Okay, it's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
Okay, so you guys are familiar with the site Vox, which does explainers and polls and does interesting analysis on culture to try to ascertain things about or what's going on in American society. So they decided to conduct an online poll around Halloween time to find out what things most Americans are afraid of. So they had people write in what their biggest fears are. So, for example, heights is 24%. 24% of people are afraid of heights.
You guys afraid of heights?
I actually am.
You're afraid of heights?
And I try to talk myself out of it, like it's going to be fine. But every time I end up like...
What happens to you when you get up there? Do you get wobbly knees?
Yeah. My legs start to like really shake and I have to hold on because I feel like they're going to give out.
But if you have to hold on, that means you're at the rail.
No, I know. It's and then I'm just bouncing back
what
and
about,
forth.
So if you're in an elevator with glass all the way around, how
like the Marriott Marquis in Times Square.
Yeah. And my stomach starts
It goes really fast and you're going down and all you see is rooms, and then all of a sudden the atrium opens at floor 20 and phew, you're flying in the air.
Yeah, my stomach drops and my pulse races and my knees get weak and I can even be telling myself logically.
Are you in love? Is that what's happening?
I am in love, but that's not a part of this.
Okay. Because I hear that's what happens when people are in love.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
So
sometimes.
you
Chandler,
join about 24% of the population.
Oh, it's a nice to be in the quarter.
I would have you guys guess as to what number 1 and 2 are, but there's no way you can. But just for context,
public speaking is one of them. Has to be.
Needles is one of them, which is towards the bottom.
I'm fine with that.
I would say death and public speaking.
Yeah.
Death is at 19%.
Wow.
I don't see public speaking.
Well, it's because 81% of Americans believe in the afterlife. So
yeah, what's the big deal? I'm fine with it.
Number one at 61%. And this tells you the state of our culture right now is corrupt government. Government corruption is people's number 1 fear.
No.
Of corrupt.
Number
I feel
2.
like it must have been set up. It's like choose from these things because I don't feel like people would default to that unless it was presented to them.
We talked about this last week. There's like a percentage of like millennials and older folks that are afraid, but it's anxiety. Not a general like anxiety. It's
right. You would have anxiety at the idea of going up on the Orlando Eye Ferris wheel because of the height. You're like, I don't know if I'm going to go up there. It's not like I don't know if I'm going to watch that news channel because I have a fear of politics.
Well, number two is surprising too. This ranked over terrorist attacks. Number 2, barely, is clowns.
This is a complete garbage study, I feel like.
Well, it's all connected to exactly what's happening in culture. I feel like they were given a survey of current events.
Again, I feel like it taps into some overall cultural anxieties. But clowns ranked higher than economic collapse at 37%, biological warfare at 35%, and coming in at dead last, the least fear, which again, I find this is a little bit surprising, is ghost. Almost no one is afraid or believes in ghosts. They ranked at only 9%. Around the table, what is your biggest fear?
Yeah, I don't think it's things that are actively, but like you could conjure up things that would absolutely like.
Yeah, there are like if you saw like a spider running at you, you'd be afraid, but nothing like occupies your mind as an ongoing fear.
Cohen won't talk to you, or the magazine gets shut down, or something.
I never think of something like that.
Yeah, I don't think of fear as much as things that I'm like are actively sort of on the back burner and could always percolate. It's if this thing happens, if I think about this thing, it starts to
like it makes me sad.
Or makes me a little bit nervous or a little bit scared or some negative emotion.
I feel like not clowns or something like that, but my mind always goes not to worst case scenario, but like how can I prevent something that I don't want to happen?
Doesn't even occur to me.
Yeah.
I was on the hill overlooking the wall of Gaza to Palestine, or to Israel to Gaza, and had windows of Gaza within. If a sniper was in them, they could have taken me out easily. It didn't even occur to me that was an unsafe place to be. Like I
think that's what's funny about the whole fear thing is people talk about it, and it's sort of like. First of all, it touches right on anxiety because some people are just sort of
more prone to anxiety,
and are just a little nervous about everything. Yeah. But I think a lot of times fears, like clowns, are a good example. It is not generally a fearful thing. It's something that some people just associate a fearful feeling with, and some people don't. That's why, like the 80 whatever percent of people are afraid of like some sort of political unrest. Like that's a generalized thing that everybody would say, yes, I would not like to have some sort of political unrest. That's why it doesn't make sense to me in the study, because usually these kinds of fears are like
political.
Like
gridlock.
Public speaking for me is joyful. I get excited. I wake up. I'm happy about it. Like I think people that are bungee jumping, that's not a fear of heights. That's a fear of dying in a cord being cut loose, and it's just like that's a different thing.
I've done that.
Yeah, so it's terrifying.
And you know those big things that look like slingshots, and they pull you up.
Oh yeah,
and then you go. Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But here what's interesting is because I see and enjoy your perspective where you're like, oh well, government corruption is just something that the pollsters projected onto the audience. But I think that to a degree there's like a generational thing. I don't know if you guys have already listened to like this week's This American Life episode, but Ira Glass calls his uncle, who is petrified, who basically his life is consumed by talking about and fearing different political conspiracies actually coming through. I think there is a generational gulf between people that may be a little bit older or prone to certain political fears and ideas, where that does consume a lot of their actual rationale. But I do feel like that's why it's so random that you would see political corruption as one or government corruption as one and clowns as two, because there are honestly like two types of people, like people who have a visceral reaction to something like clowns or, heights or spiders or whatever. And then people who are afraid because the media constantly projects these gloom and doom scenarios that can happen with institutions like the government. I feel like that's kind of why this poll is so interesting and seemingly so random, is because it shows there are different types of people and their fears are totally different and unrelatable to each other.
Jesse, I think I'm kind of like you, and what I'm fearful of, what you alluded to, is that I'm not constantly sitting around like feeling anxious or thinking of like, oh, I'm scared of this, but I feel like I'm always on high alert. So like at church, I always sit on the end of the aisle, and I oftentimes will start daydreaming about like, what if somebody came in here right now? Like, what would I do? What would I use? Or if I'm on an airplane, like, could this food, menu, could that paper cut someone? Would I attack them? So I always feel like I'm ready to attack.
Can I just say that if you're if your solution is to attack an attacker with a menu by paper cutting them, then your fear is completely rational in every way.
Because most
you have reason to be afraid, because that's a terrible idea.
Most menus are made out of a pretty heavy cardstock, and you're never going to get a paper cut with that.
It's like in the old movies where someone hears someone break into their house and they grab a rolled up newspaper. Yeah. It's like, you know what? You probably should be afraid of home invasion if your plan is to swat them away with yesterday's sports page. I have an update. I hate to do this, but this is breaking news. I just got a follow up from our domain broker.
Okay.
And he has discussed the inquiry with his client, and they threw a price at me. And I gotta be honest here, we are very far off at this point for CandyTalk.com.
About 20,000 off.
I don't know if I can discuss specifics.
Why not?
But this is breaking news here. Okay,
he wants $2,000.
The important thing is the domain broker has emailed me. They want $4,200 for this thing.
$4,200, and
reply
you're gonna
with $15.
$15. Go. I was thinking more like 15 to 20.
I got to say, though, it says a lot about what we did with Candy Talk back in the day that it drove up the price.
That's true. You created a market for something that did not exist prior.
Here's what I think is interesting is after he saw that someone was interested, Cameron, that his first thing was to call up his client, and they had a little chat, and they set a value on this thing, $4,200 US dollars.
Had nothing to do with an algorithm. He definitely called a human who told him that number. Okay. What do you have, Eddie?
All right, we're going to viewer's choice on this, and actually I'm going to let Joy decide. I can either start and give a positive spin on this, or I can do a negative spin on this. What would you prefer?
I want Edgy Eddie.
You want Edgy Eddie? Yeah. So I guess that would be a positive spin.
Yes.
Good news, guys. For the next 170 years, you'll be making more than women. According to a new study, for the next 170 years, that is how long it is going to take for the average of women's salaries around the globe to equal that of men's salaries. Good news, right, Joy?
Yes, it's so great.
If you want to, Iceland and Finland, if you were going to move anywhere, they make the top of the list for least disparity within pay. The United States is, do you want to guess, Joy?
10th.
Oh, no. We're number 45.
Oh, wow.
So the global average, when it comes to an annual average earnings worldwide, women take home $10,778 to men's $19,873. Wow. I have to ask a question. I've never understood this. How is this possible? Because every place I've ever worked just has a really clear HR,
because you worked in more like academia has this, churches have this.
I don't even talk about church salary.
Nonprofits have this, where like they just have like, because I was on a board of a university, and it was different for me to understand that they have like these tiers and everything is just set. I mean, there's like no negotiation for your salary or anything like that.
Yeah, because clearly it's messed up. Right. I mean, I feel like that's a universal principle.
It's inequality.
Yeah. And if anybody thinks it's not right now, probably just don't comment. But so we can all just agree, like, of course, everybody should you do a job. This is how much you make, man or woman, short, tall, doesn't matter.
But we're talking like now free market kind of like business where it's a little bit more subjective.
How is it still happening?
I literally brought this out because I want a broader perspective on this, because I don't even understand how it happens once, much less there's a worldwide disparity of $9,000 a year.
I've thought about this. We just, as you guys, we're a small team, and as you guys met here on the podcast the last couple of weeks, a couple of our new team members, our new managing editor, Rebecca, our new social media maven, Chelsea. So to actually most of our recent hires, I can go back to probably the previous 6 or 7 have all been female, and
incredible women running Relevant.
I am surrounded by strong, smart, confident women.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
We have, I'd say, 4/5 of our staff is female.
Yeah.
Maybe 2/3. And so, like, I think about this. Yeah. Like it never would occur to me that Rebecca would make any less than our last managing editor. And I'm trying to think that.
So how does it happen?
I don't know. Yeah. Like, I literally don't know. But I do know that in the free market and the normal business world, that things are a lot more subjective. You go in, you ask for a raise. It's a subjective raise. It's not as structured as academia, nonprofits, and churches, where things are more, donor, and you have to report all your financials and things like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is that if of male and a female are in the same role, I think research shows that men more often are quicker to ask for a raise. Yeah. So that's the only scenario that I can think of if there's raise potential, that men are sooner to go in and ask for it or ask for a bigger raise. But yeah, I mean, I know traditionally, like in the past, where more women were at home and not working, and then if a male and a female were in the workforce, some companies justified, like, we will pay this man more money because he has, 5 kids at home and a wife to support, whereas this woman may be single. I feel like that was something back in the day. But yeah, I can't understand an HR company that would not make it equal at this point. So that's why I'm confused as well.
Yeah. Well, especially when you look at like globally, there are still a lot of places that have different, not as advanced ideas about gender roles. And you could see how, like, in some places in the world where laws about men and women are different, that could be the case. Yeah. Like, I'm not justifying it, but you could see, like, logically, okay, there's some countries where women can't drive,
the old mindset. So maybe, like, if it's an older, corporate world that you're in, or an older, where, like, the men historically 50, 40 years ago were the providers and the women stayed at home, then the men, just were more qualified or whatever. There was a perception. But today, it's just not that. And maybe it's
that's what I'm saying, especially in the United States. The United States is far more advanced in its thinking. And it's shameful that it's still 45.
The stats you brought are factual.
Yeah.
And what's confusing to me is, like, I'm with you. Your confusion of, like, where is this happening? How does this even happen anymore? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, because the countries on the bottom of the list, and I didn't say them because I feel it's unkind, but are oppressive to women. So it's like understandable. They don't see women as the same class of citizen as men. But in the United States,
right?
I really would love if anybody ends up having, like, a really good, like, one of those great articles that just illuminates how this happens. I would love to read it, because I believe it to be true.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why.
Is the article saying men and women doing the same job, the discrepancy is that 10,000 to 19,000, or is that men and women, and it's based off of maybe more women are not working?
No, a lot. It's the comparison is women working the same job. Like they get paid much less in the same job, and I think there's a variety of cultural factors. But Eddie, to do your comment, I mean, we ran a piece last year that you can find on relevantmagazine.com that looked at this issue more in depth. And there's a lot of complex social factors. It's not just there's just one reason why it happens. I'm not justifying it, but and the reason why it's so hard to correct isn't just because you can say, oh, we just fix this and that'll fix the problem. But it's also like, goes across a lot of industries. There's an anecdote this week about Hilary Swank. She was on Chelsea Handler's talk show, and she talked about how one time earlier in her career, but this is after she had also won an Oscar. Okay, so she's an Oscar-winning actress at this point. She was offered $500,000 for a co-starring role in a film.
That's so
her
much
male
money.
counterpart was offered $10 million.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's offered $500,000. He's offered $10 million. And at this point, she had won an Oscar. She declined the role. She didn't give the what film it was, but it was offered to another actress who accepted it for $50,000.
Wow.
So there you have a discrepancy of almost $10 million. The other thing that she illuminated in that, she won an Oscar for the film Boys Don't Cry. Mm-hmm. She won an Academy Award, the highest honor you can get in Hollywood for doing something. She was paid $3,000 to star in that movie.
Seriously?
Well, I'm just interested if, for whoever's going to respond to us who knows these facts, if it maybe has a lot to do with companies that don't have like HR departments that you were talking about, Eddie, of like roles and jobs where someone is more freelance or they have management, and so then there's like a quicker to accept a lower payment, or if someone's, works for themselves, they say, I'm this much an hour, and maybe across the board, women, put themselves at a lower. I mean, that's literally the only thing I can try to think of to make sense. Otherwise, I feel like companies would be getting sued. Because a film company could say, this is what we offered them. Of course, we're going to come in low. If their agent saying, we only do this for $10 million and we want that actor, but
that mindset applies to any business.
Yeah.
This disparity, works at a systemic level. I just use the example of Hollywood just because, it's in the news. But situations like that happen across industries every day.
Yeah.
All right, what do you have, Joy?
All right. So this is going to be really interesting. I feel like Eddie and Jesse are going to be so quiet now.
Thank you for sharing your feelings, coworker who I value.
I'm literally not going to know what to do with myself if I don't get interrupted.
I hear you and affirm your affirmation. Thank you, coworker.
She's an equal member of this podcast cast.
Question. Have any of you guys ever taken an I voted selfie to kind of encourage other people to vote?
No, because it's illegal.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
No, not an I vote, with the sticker. Like
Nope.
I see a lot of people say, like they have their little sticker.
I may have a couple years ago,
me
but
too.
I don't think so.
Joy, I will say I see them. I've already started seeing friends that have done early voting or absentee just with a little sticker on their pocket or, whatever, and just a little thumbs up. I voted. Yeah. The sticker. I've seen the sticker selfies already.
The whole thing.
Yeah, it starts happening now. So
wait, real quick. Can I ask this? Do you guys wear the sticker?
Oh, yeah, all day.
No, I early vote and I don't get a sticker.
Yeah, we have mail-in voting, so we never get a sticker, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys really are being so quiet.
Interesting question, Joy. What else do you have to say?
Because I was going to make a joke that I bought a binder full of I voted stickers.
Good job.
And put 6 on and be like, guys, I don't know what happened at the polling place, but they let me go in 6 times and just see if it gets picked up on one of these political sites. I got the stickers to prove it.
Anyways, okay, so yes, it's not illegal at all to do the I voted sticker, but there are some states, not all states, where it's illegal to take a selfie while you're actually in the booth or take a photo of your ballot that you've filled out. And the selfie phenomenon, it's not that they've just enacted these laws because we now have the technology with cameras. There's actually been laws in certain places since 1891.
Basically flash photography was invented.
Yes. No, but it was that you weren't allowed to show anybody
selfies were a
your
big
ballot.
problem in the 1800s.
It took a while.
Yeah.
But
long time. Everybody stay still. Stay still. Don't move.
Don't move.
Don't move.
That's why they were a problem.
You know why it was originally frowned upon to take selfies in the ballot box? Because you had to bring in those big, dangerous light bulbs that basically explode with every picture. So, when they're crammed in that little booth, it's incredibly dangerous. People died all the time.
Sparks everywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, so as many of you know,
all the ballots would catch on fire. That's the problem. See, that's why they disallowed it. All the
there's only one ballot
sparks
per person. Yeah. Yeah, so Justin Timberlake, who owns land in Tennessee, he flew home to vote, and he took a selfie inside the booth to encourage everyone to vote. And he apparently did not do his due diligence, which is that there's a new law in Tennessee forbidding people from using the device for telephone conversations, recording, or taking photographs or videos while inside the polling place. The crime, do you know what the crime for that misdemeanor is?
15 years in jail.
You're really taking the
you gotta listen
sunshine out of that. $50 fine and up to 30 days in jail. So everyone was freaking out that Justin Timberlake was going to go to jail.
Maybe a month without JT. Like the national nightmare almost came true.
But it was hilarious. The Shelby County District Attorney, General Amy Wyrich, she made a statement. She goes, "No one in our office is currently investigating this matter, nor will we be using our limited resources to do so." So they don't have time to prosecute Justin Timberlake.
What I love is probably that Chris Kirkpatrick took a selfie, and he has done one every single year. And I mean, he is just literally tampering with the ballots and just waiting for someone to notice. And it's breaking his heart. He's like, I just flew in from Alabama to Orlando. I did a direct flight to vote, and I'm tampering with ballots. I'm messing with the ballot box. Nobody cares.
Is your theory that if it wasn't as beloved of a pop star,
right.
like let's say Nickelback wasn't Canadian and one of them did it, that they would throw the book at them, like they would attempt to put them in prison?
Well, yes, because that would be a Canadian trying to vote in the U.S. But yes, I do think they're letting Timberlake off the hook. But actually, I don't think this law is going to be in place. There's different laws for different states, and I will tell you each of your own here in a second. But I think they're about to all get repealed because people are saying this is like an issue of free speech, and it's it's dumb. It's a dumb
Hey,
law.
did you guys see Mike Rowe, the guy who does the dirty jobs? Did you see the controversy around his voting Facebook post this week?
No.
He's conservative guy, salt of the earth, blue collar guy,
Yeah.
And so he interacts with his fans on Facebook. He had this like lengthy post. Somebody, a reader asked him to encourage his fans to vote in the presidential election this November, and he politely declined with this reply. He said, "I share your concern for our country and agree wholeheartedly that every vote counts." It's a very long reply. This is just part of it. He says, "However, I'm afraid I can't encourage millions of people whom I've never met to just run out and cast a ballot simply because they have the right to vote. That would be like encouraging everyone to buy an AR-15 simply because they have the right to bear arms. I would need to know a few things about them before offering that kind of encouragement. For instance, do they know how to care for a weapon? Can they afford the cost of the weapon? Do they have a history of violence? Are they mentally stable? In short, are they responsible citizens? Casting a ballot is not so different. It's an important right that we all share and one that affects our society in dramatic fashion. But it's one thing to respect and acknowledge our collective rights and quite another thing to affirmatively encourage people I've never met to exercise them. And yet, my friends in Hollywood do that very thing." And they're at it again. Yeah. And he goes on from there. He says, every 4 years, celebrities and movie stars look earnestly into the camera and tell the country to get out and vote. They tell us it's our most important civic duty, and they speak as if the very act of casting a ballot is more important than the outcome of the election. This strikes me as somewhat hysterical. And, talks about, do they actually want people to vote or do they want them to vote who they are pulling for?
He could have come up with a lot of metaphors, but he went with the AR-15 metaphor. Yeah. That a way to just walk into it.
Yeah.
But his point is good because it's like...
Voting's a right, it's not a duty and not a moral obligation, he says. Like all rights, the right to vote comes with some responsibilities, but let's face it, the bar is not set very high. And it goes.
Yeah. But that it's a good point because, like, I do feel like, in a way, that whole thing of everyone's got to vote. If you don't know, if you haven't put thoughtful, reflection and research into it, then why should you vote? Like, I'm not saying you don't have the right, but don't feel the pressure if you don't know what you think.
Right.
So before we close, you guys want to know what category your state falls under?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Oregon. We're all mail-in, so we can we're free. We're under the free to photograph category. Although there was a law in 2014 that was repealed. There was a law that you couldn't even show anyone your filled out ballot, but now you can show everybody, you can take photos, all that. Florida, you guys are just straight up banned, which I think in any scenario you're
only
banned.
if you subscribe to the law of Caesar and man.
That's right.
Are you banned? But I subscribe to the law of the Lord, and I will stick my head in your booth and
with
take
like 6 GoPros on,
and take a picture if I feel like it.
Right. There's an IMAX film.
You are in
now.
my church lobby. Yeah. I am not. This is not your sacred land. This is my church lobby. You're a visitor.
Okay,
here.
Jesse, do you know what your state falls under?
Okay, I'm going to go back to Cameron here. Not only do I not know my state law on that matter, I don't know, nor do I care about many of my state's laws. I'm not governed by the Commonwealth of Virginia or the federal government of the United States. Yeah.
Only God
I'm
can
governed
judge
solely
me.
by my moral compass and my endowed rights as a human being to do a lot of things that the government definitely frowns upon.
That's right.
Well, Jesse, your state falls under not the free or not the banned category. Your state falls under the mixed or unclear category. So you are banned, apparently, in the booth to take selfies, but you can take selfies of your mail-in ballot. So you have lots of options on the table.
Again, you might as well not have said anything because I don't care.
Just since it said the conclusion is that your state's is unclear, I think you need to just push the boundary as far as you can until you hit the edge.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it as far as possible, and I'm going to go in there and start dismantling the booths and just have a wide open thing. And, that's just, I'd like to see them stop me. I did the same thing as a prank in college one time. We went to another floor we didn't like, and we took down their stall doors, and we hauled them away. So they just had open toilets in the bathroom. I'm going to do the same thing at the voting booth for the sake of the Commonwealth of Virginia.
All right, well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Lupita Nyong'o joins us.
Starring up a hurricane. Oh, it is a losing game. You should just forget my name. Oh, starring up a hurricane. I'm gonna
listening to Sorcha Richardson. The song is Ruin Your Night, which is what I do regularly with my friends.
That's
so sad.
Unsettling.
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o is an Oscar-winning actress known for her roles in critically acclaimed films like 12 Years a Slave, Star Wars you might have heard of, and most recently Queen of Katwe, about a Christian missionary to Uganda. We recently spoke with Lupita about her background as the child of a Kenyan political leader during tumultuous times, how she chooses such interesting roles, and why she gravitates towards socially redeeming stories. Here is part of our conversation with Lupita Nyong'o.
So you've been in some huge movies lately. I mean, from obviously your Oscar-winning performance in 12 Years a Slave, The Force Awakens, which now is looking like a kind of a Star Wars franchise, The Jungle Book, on stage in Eclipsed, etc. So when it came about, you were approached about this movie, Queen of Katwe. Why did you choose the script? What was it about it that stood out to you?
Well, it was the fact that it was a true story, an uplifting story from East Africa, meant so much to me. Nothing like it had crossed my desk when it came to me. And here was a story about a girl who just overcomes so many odds and follows what may have seemed like an impossible dream. It just really resonated with me. It speaks of an outlook that I believe in, but also the fact that I would be playing a woman who was very afraid of the dream and the dreamer, and had to come to terms with letting her daughter pursue more than she thought was possible. That also was a challenge for me, that I would be playing someone who did not see the world the way I was raised to see it. I just loved that challenge, the challenge of playing the mother of 5 children, a young mother, a teen mother of 5 children also. It just offered so much. It was just such a rich script and just offered me so many positive challenges that, 10 pages in, and I put down the script and I made it known that I was going to have to make the film. That was just the question. And then I read the script, the rest of it, and I was like, oh, yes, I was right.
Kind of, I guess, at a base level, this film is about chess, which, at face value is not altogether that interesting. But of course, kind of as you're saying, there's more to it, and it's about more and deeper things than just a board game. Can you explain that? I mean, what is this film ultimately about?
Oh, wow. This film is about daring to dream. It's also about the importance of having a network of support, a family, a community that can support the dreamer to achieve their dreams. So it's about that. It's about courage. It's about Uganda. It's about celebration of inspiration.
So one thing that sticks out to me about the film, one of the central characters, of course, is this Christian missionary portrayed by David Oyelowo. What is he doing teaching chess classes? What's the connection between his work there and how he gets involved in teaching chess?
Well, Robert Katende is an incredible human being, and he started off by coaching football, also known as soccer, in Katwe, to try and help get the kids off the street and get them doing something positive and worthwhile. So he ran a football club, and he noticed that there were some kids that didn't want to get that physically involved, and he knew how to play chess, and he offered this to those children. And then as he offered it, he knew how chess can really develop focus and problem solving. And so he uses chess to teach life skills and to teach these children how to better deal with the challenges of their lives in this abjectly poor slum of Katwe. And so it becomes a metaphor for life. And I have had the honor of being coached by the real Robert Katende, and he is truly a visionary with chess. And the way he makes it so relevant to everyday life is astounding. And that's what he did for those children, and what he continues to do in Katwe. And David represents that man.
The people of Katwe in real life, I mean, it's easy, you know, especially as North Americans, etc., to view anyone not in the first world as experiencing a level of what we would call suffering or something like that. In your experience there, and even portraying people from Uganda, are they suffering, or is this just a different type of life that they're content with?
You know, there is suffering everywhere in the world. And I do not believe that suffering is the only thing that can characterize a people. And what we see in Queen of Katwe is that despite the abject poverty that this particular family finds themselves in, they are working through it. They are reaching. They are loving. They are laughing. They are cooking. There's more going on than just the suffering. And I think that is what I hope is the biggest takeaway from this film, is that life is occurring. Life is happening in Katwe, you know, and there is more to their character than just the suffering, as we see in Fiona's story, that she is able to overcome the limitations of the world she was born into, and achieve way more. And that is happening all over Katwe and all over Uganda. And I think it's also really important to note that Katwe is not a representation of all of Uganda. It's a representation of a place, just as, you know, Compton is not all of Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's a good point. It always occurs to me when I'm watching, you know, a film like this that, you know, my first reaction to anyone who, you know, I don't know, doesn't have wood floors or something, is you think like, oh man, that's just, I feel so bad for them. And then another part of me, you know, while you do want to view people who need help as needing help and et cetera, another part of me thinks like, well, gosh, how arrogant am I to think that the only way to live is with, you know, these things that I've become accustomed to, et cetera. And so it was interesting, I think, in seeing some of the stuff I saw in the Katwe film, how the people, I think, are overall portrayed as a happy people. I mean, I think there's tensions there, and there's setbacks, and there's things to overcome. But I didn't perceive necessarily the location as a big, what you might call like an antagonist in the film, which I thought was an interesting take that even added to some of the texture of the picture.
Yeah, I hope that what is presented in our film, and I do believe it, is a full world. It is a full world, not denying the negative, but also not denying the positive. And I think that's something that the African continent is in great need of. It's in great need of the recognition that there are really positive things going on the continent, you know. I think all too often an image is painted of a suffering Africa, a hungry Africa, a war-torn Africa. And here we have a film that is not denying the poverty that this particular place is experiencing, but we are shedding a light on the hope and the beauty and the dignity and the triumph of one girl and her love for chess.
I want to go back a little bit to the topic we're talking about with you, like choosing the script, etc. It seems to me that kind of looking at your career of late, especially with Eclipse, the play, and then with 12 Years a Slave, etc., you're taking roles that say something. There's a message that matters. Is that idea of social change or even social commentary in your mind when you approach acting?
I think I think. What do I think? What do I think? I don't know. I gravitate. I'm attracted to roles and stories that are complex, that say something and teach me something new about the human spirit. Then I do believe in redeeming social value potential, and I think I'm attracted to those kinds of stories, because I do think that cinema and television, popular culture, really is the way in which we, in this day and age, that's the way in which we understand the world, that we interact with the world beyond our immediate surroundings. It gives us a better understanding of the world we live in, and it's an opportunity, I think, to expand on the conversation and our understanding of the world we live in. But really, the things that I have gravitated to, I think, are things that have moved me deeply, and I feel an impetus to participate in. And, it goes from Eclipse to even The Jungle Book, or even Star Wars. They're all, in one form or another, have offered me a unique opportunity, and I see their value to me and to what I hope is my audience.
That was Lupita Nyong'o. Make sure to check out her current film, Queen of Katwe. It's out now. You're listening to a band in our new issue of Relevant, Young the Giant. The song is Silver Tongue, which was my nickname in high school.
Up until the incident.
Then it became Gold Tongue. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
It's the new James Bond
just
film.
Just use your
out.
imagination.
Well, the new issue of Relevant is shipped this week, and it's out now. It hits newsstands on November 1st. So to talk about the new issue and give you some behind the scenes of what went into it, we wanted to invite our editorial director, Aaron Hanbury, to the show. Welcome back, Aaron.
It's good to be back.
Any of your friends joining you this time? They might want to call in or anything?
No, I just got off the phone with several. The recording quality was... I didn't put a lot of pressure on them to provide good phone quality because we're such close friends. I was like, just come as you are.
One of them, it was funny. He just talked to one of his good buddies who's now a famous professional athlete. It was awkward because the guy was skydiving at the time. So wasn't great, but good to catch up.
But it's how they typically talk on the phone with each other, with a lot of windy activities happening on the other end of the
Both
line.
busy guys just fitting in a conversation when we have time,
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you gotta multitask.
Sometimes he calls you while he's downhill skiing. Sometimes he calls you when he's in a typhoon.
I got that surfing appointment later, but I could probably squeeze a call into Aaron.
I'm repairing a big industrial-sized fan that'll be staying. Can I give you a call then? Yeah, I'm actually hope it's okay. I got an appointment at the blow dry bar. Yeah, 2 blow dryers going on me, but I can carve out a good 10 minutes there. It's up to you guys.
You know what? To make a relationship work, you just make sacrifices. You plan things. It's very intentional.
The new issue of Relevant has a huge Hollywood actor on the cover. He's not physically, but in reputation, I guess.
In proportion to popularity, he looks tiny.
Yeah, in popularity. Andrew Garfield. He's played superheroes, and currently he's starring in the new movie Hacksaw Ridge, which was directed by the controversial Mel Gibson. Both of them are in the cover story and talk about the film. And it's the story of a pacifist during the Second World War who refused to bear arms, but actually saved a lot of lives, faith, morality, integrity, character, abuse, overcoming obstacles is all themes in the film. And Mel Gibson is a phenomenal director. Think of him what you will, but his, he did Braveheart and several others, Passion of the Christ, that were quite notable. And Hacksaw Ridge is kind of his comeback moment.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. So 06 was Apocalypto, which was his last directorial outing.
It's also what happened to his career after that. It was just kind of the apocalypse. He just kind of exploded and went away.
Yeah, that was basically a signal to everyone.
Yeah.
Apocalypto, and I'm out.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is a really fascinating story because not only is it Mel Gibson's comeback, but Andrew Garfield, making such an interesting professional choice. He was just Spider-Man. Like literally, the guy is at the forefront of these big mass market blockbusters, and his next move is to work with Mel Gibson in this film that is controversial. And even he mentions talking about being in the upcoming Scorsese movie, which also has heavy faith themes, and how both of these have kind of made him ask himself big questions about faith and morality and some important social issues. It's a really interesting career choice for someone like Andrew Garfield.
And he opens up about it quite a bit in the piece, and it's compelling. It's one of those ones that sometimes you talk to a famous actor and about a role that actually has a lot of meat on the bones and is really is gripping from a multi-layered spiritual and compelling standpoint. And then you talk to the actor and they're like, yeah, it was a role. And they don't really go there. Andrew goes there. And obviously Mel, who's the director and visionary of the story, really goes there. And the story is really compelling and eye-opening.
I was really pleased with the access and the way in which both Mel Gibson and Andrew Garfield opened up to us and gave us some real insight to what they were thinking, how the role changed them, how they thought about Desmond Doss, the lead character, who's a real man. So it was really interesting. It was great to see how that came together.
Andrew Garfield, like we're going to be seeing a lot of him because those two movies we just talked about, particularly Hacksaw Ridge, but also Martin Scorsese's Silence, which he stars in as a Jesuit monk, are already in early Oscar talks to be in the conversation for Best Picture. So it's really exciting that we got a chance to talk to him at this really pivotal moment, not just for his career, but for some faith conversations culturally.
Also in the issue, on the spiritual side of things, Pastor Judah Smith, our friend, wrote a piece about how is your soul? Unpacks kind of like feelings and our emotions stuff. Is really good. Lisa Bevere also wrote for us. The first time she's ever written for us. She talked about the cult of comparison and a little behind the scenes. The two people depicted in the photo shoot are staffers at Relevant. David Crowder's in the issue. He was a guest here on the podcast not too long ago talking about his new album. And in the issue, he talks about it and how it's kind of a new musical direction for him. And he's really kind of doubling down on the swampy kind of Gulf music.
Yeah,
It's an amazing new era for him artistically.
And we traced out the history of the David Crowder beard.
That's true. We do. We literally have a sidebar in there. It's like the oral history, the timeline of the David Crowder facial hair. And,
because people needed to know.
And we illustrated it. We literally I paid a designer to sit there and illustrate David Crowder's facial hair over the years.
What's interesting is we always have a backup cover in case someone like Andrew Garfield fell through. Yeah. And we had the Crowder beard timeline. So I was comfortable up into the end on this one.
Yeah. Also in the issue, Aaron's favorite band, Young the Giant, talked to us.
It's true.
Why are they your favorite band?
Young the Giant is my favorite band, first and foremost, because I just like their music. I feel like it's straight up. But it was also my wife and I's first date was to see Young the Giant at the Tabernacle in Atlanta, which is a really great venue, and they put on a great show. And then kind of had a little place in my heart for them since then.
I like the band, and they have a couple hits that you commonly hear in radio and commercials, and they've got a lot of critical acclaim. But what I liked about the story is the undertones, not just of their new album, but of their personal stories dealing with themes like diversity and displacement. They are come from the perspective of the child of immigrants. It was a really fascinating interview.
Band
that
members,
illuminated.
I learned watching it or reading this that all 5 band members are the children of immigrants, and so that comes through in their music.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You listen to their album right now, and it kind of sounds like everything. Like everybody's talking about immigration. Even in Europe, they have Brexit, etc. But they started working on this album about 2 years before any of that broke. So it was this really organic way that they were just kind of talking about their own lives and how they experienced America. And then it released into this moment where it was like even more so in the forefront of kind of, cultural conversations and those kind of things.
Speaking of music, we also have Eddie in the magazine, St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Eddie and the Broken Bones.
The lead singer of St. Paul and the Broken Bones looks exactly like Eddie Koffoltz in a suit. It is.
We don't know it's not him.
Open up the magazine, flip to the TOC, and glance at the St. Paul and the Broken Bones picture, and tell me if you don't think that's Eddie Koffoltz.
It's eerie.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's actually a really great story. Not only do they do infectious kind of retro soul pop music, the lead singer was in the ministry at one point. And so it's definitely the gospel thing is not a shtick to them. It's an authentic kind of thing that he's, inspired the music that he's making now. So very cool story. Based on my trip to Mars not long ago, the lava field in Hawaii, where they were doing some Habanaut experiments and stuff in preparation for Mars exploration. Nat Geo is doing a show this November, kind of a mini series, special. It's not a full season series, but it's not a mini series. It's this interesting thing. They call it a global television event.
Yeah, well, it's like part documentary, part scripted.
No. It's all scripted. It's a dramatic series about 2032, the first human crew to go to Mars. Right. The reason why it's notable, it's on Nat Geo. It's based in current science of what's being worked on for real. So real rocket design, real challenges that they face or the things that they're really facing, all that kind of stuff. So it's just grounded. It's not just sci-fi, So it's fascinating conversation that we have. It's just a kind of a quick thought of one of the things that Elon Musk and Neil deGrasse Tyson say in the piece that they have differing perspectives on. Elon Musk says there will be an extinction event here on Earth, so we must now become a multi-planet species. That is absolutely vital, and that's why he wants to go. Neil deGrasse Tyson says, well, sure, it's great to learn and explore, and we should always be pursuing exploration, but why don't we focus our attention on not having an extinction event here on Earth? And so they have differing views. Neil deGrasse Tyson says it's not a question of could we go to Mars, but really should we habitate Mars? So it's an interesting little piece that we have. Also, we asked the question, should you chase your dream? How do you know when it's time to quit your day job and take that big leap of faith that so many people want? And last but definitely not least, we have a feature with Scott Derrickson, the filmmaker behind the huge new movie, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was really excited about this. We've been working on getting Scott for an interview for a while. So it was really exciting to see it land. And then the writer who wrote it for us is really just the right guy to do it. It's great when all these things come together. Scott actually grew up in a very conservative Baptist home. I mean, he was at Bob Jones University doing Bible drills, that kind of thing. And then he went on to Biola, and then he becomes like this breakout horror director. Much like, and
we should say he is a Christian currently. He's not like he grew up in the church and then like left the church to become a horror director. He's a Christian horror director.
Absolutely, yeah. Much like Hayes, the brothers who we've talked to before on the show. He's a Christian in the horror space, and now he's taken the reins of this big. Is it Marvel?
Yeah, I believe it's Marvel, right?
Yeah, it's the latest addition to the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which every one of those movies is a huge deal. And this one has a way different tone than like, let's say your entry point into that world is the Avengers or Iron Man or one of those. Doctor Strange is taking the entire universe in a new sort of direction that's darker, that is asking a lot of big spiritual and mystical questions. Spirituality and the supernatural and mysticism play huge roles in the Doctor Strange story. And that's why it's so interesting that a Christian director and a Christian filmmaker is at the helm. I mean, in the lead up to this, you would see Scott Derrickson tweeting quotes from different theologians who've kind of had these ponderings about the supernatural and, some of these big mystical questions. And now they're all coming to fruition in the form of a blockbuster that visually is also one of the coolest Marvel movies. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the clips that we've posted on and off as they've been made available, but I mean, there are scenes that sort of look like something out of like Inception.
Yeah, psychedelic is how Scott described it to us. He wanted to create a psychedelic experience, which is super interesting.
Interestingly, I was listening to that conversation that Scott had with us. I didn't make out the word psychedelic because he also was skydiving while the interview was going on, much like Tim Tebow.
I try to make people feel comfortable when I talk to them, and I'm like, hey, if you need to like sit down or like skydive, just do what you need to do,
or ride around with your windows open.
Horseback riding is an option here.
Right.
Well, if you've seen the trailers for the movie, there's a scene where Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange, jumps through this portal in the Himalayas into this multiverse. And it was actually Scott was testing that stunt when he did the call. So that's
interesting enough, Scott is just off screen in that clip,
talking to
me on his cell phone.
Yeah, he's falling through the supernatural void of the multiverse,
which sounds like
a jitterbug at service.
It really sounded exactly like Tim Tebow doing the same thing last week. But
they may or may not be the same.
And because it's our November-December end of the year issue, we have a couple of things looking at Christmas. First, Tim Keller, notable pastor, theologian, author. Tim Keller wrote a piece for us about the kind of the edges of Christmas, that the Christmas story that we so commonly refer to kind of misses the point of what really happened.
Yeah, it's like the Peanuts show that comes on, every year come in December. And exactly.
Yeah. And also, because we all find ourselves in the same situation every year, we got to buy thoughtful presents, right, for people we care about. But we, as our audience, our magazine, we are not materialistic. We're not just about mindless consumerism, which so much of this season is. We want to do kind of a thoughtful, intentional gift guide. So we gave quite a bit of space to kind of highlighting products that we found that we love, that give back, or they're socially responsible, or they're a high value, or really creative. And it's more than just kind of thoughtless consumerism, Black Friday type stuff. So check out the gift guide. The Christmas gift guide is really cool. We're really proud of it. And that Tim Keller piece as well. And it's a little early to read about Christmas, but you could wait a couple weeks. When you start playing the Christmas music, then you can read those articles. Well, the new issue is out now. It hits newsstands nationwide this week. November 1st is the cover date. If you're looking for it, most Barnes & Nobles carry us, a bunch of other stores as well. But it's always changing. So ask for Relevant. If you don't see it, it helps us get on more and more newsstands. You also can view the issue online. If you go to relevantmagazine.com, we have a PDF flipper there of the entire issue if you want to look at it that way. And also the tablet edition is out. If you go to the Apple or Google Play app stores, and you have a full-size tablet, you can download the interactive motion-filled edition, which is very different than the print one. It's not just a PDF flipper. It's really, really good. Well, thanks for joining us, Aaron. New issue of Relevant.
Thanks,
Andrew Garfield,
thanks,
go get it. Stay tuned. Up next, a special guest joins us for feedback.
Let out the chain, nowhere to be found. I've been away since I don't remember how. A trap for young players, losing your mind. A catch behind the veil, or a blessing in disguise.
You're listening to Streets of Laredo. The song is Trap for Young Players. Trap for Young Players. The Trap for Young Players, you know what those are? Pokestops. It's where the muggers hang out, waiting for the children to come, and then they take their Pokemon cards from them.
Chandler's been there,
They set the traps for the young players. Streets of Laredo is raising awareness. There we go. Thank you for that song. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, our question of the week was, how in 11 years has this not been the question of the week? I don't know.
It's my favorite ever.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We asked you, what is your best dad joke? You guys went on Twitter at Relevant Podcast.
Some of us just call them jokes.
Yeah.
But, all right.
I just thought they were funny. I didn't know that there was anything wrong with these jokes.
Yeah.
And a bunch of you also went on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here are a few of our favorites.
Can I say that Addison went above and beyond?
It's all Addison. If there's some sort of award, Addison just gets it.
Here's a couple of my favorites from Addison, and maybe you got, if Eddie, I don't want to stop you from reading some too, but
no, I may just
these are really impressive dad jokes. Hey guys, did you hear about the butcher who backed into his meat grinder?
No, Jesse didn't. Tell me more.
He got a little behind at work.
Hey Jess, did you? Hey guys, did you hear about the new corduroy pillows?
No, what's up with them?
They're making headlines.
Okay, no, but seriously, you guys.
No, but seriously, let's
you hear about this nosy pepper. This nosy pepper that's going around.
I did not hear about that, Jess.
It likes to get jalapeno business.
Oh, it reminds me of that wildfire at the campground. Did you hear about that?
Why did you say jaw, by the way? It's haul up in your business.
That was a hard one to get out. He did his best.
Jalapeno.
Whatever, Dad. I'm doing my best.
He likes to get jaw up in your business.
Dad, you're such a nerd. You don't even know how to say jalapeno.
Okay. Let me redeem myself. What did the suspenders say to the pants?
What?
You guys hear about this? What the suspenders say?
No, I didn't.
Kevin Eubanks, you hear about this one?
Yeah, you hear about this one, Kevin?
The suspenders on the pants. Here's what he said. What up, britches?
Oh, that's the worst.
That's bad.
The worst.
I loved Ashton's. She said, my husband and I had our first baby 2 months ago. My husband keeps saying, the baby came out because he was running out of womb.
Ew.
Gosh.
Well, it's technically true. Technically.
It reminds me of that.
And it's true and it's funny.
Reminds me of that new broom that came out. Did you guys hear about this?
What's up?
Yeah, it's sweeping the nation.
Seriously, what do you call a fake noodle?
What?
An impasta.
A jalapeno, everybody. A jalapeno.
Hey, sorry, I don't want to like break the train of thought here, but I did just get a tweet from the breaking news service. Breaking, all the NYPD toilets have been stolen. The police have nothing to go on.
Oh, no.
Nothing to go on.
Hey, why did the skeleton go stag to the prom?
What's that?
Why's that?
He had no body to go with. Come on now. He had no body.
Jalapeno, everybody.
Jalapeno. Wizard Khalifa's.
Hey, real quick, Eddie, this is my favorite dad joke of all time.
Yeah, let me
why didn't the lifeguard save the hippies from drowning?
Why?
They were too far out, man.
You cut your hair.
D said, why do the watermelon and apple have to have a formal wedding? Why do the watermelon and the apple have to have a formal wedding? Cantaloupe.
Hi-yo!
Jalapeno, everybody.
Do we have any golfers here? Anybody play golf?
I love some golf.
Any golfers? Why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of pants in case he got a hole in one?
Oh, no. That's he plans ahead.
In case he got a hole in one.
Hey, Terry Lynn once said, hey, when does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
I really love this segment.
I'm so glad.
This could literally be a Jay Leno monologue. Here. Yeah. Like this is what he did.
Kevin, you watched the debate last night? Yeah, that's right.
In case you hear the slight chuckles of a pleasant person, our very own Chelsea Steele has joined us for this segment.
Hello.
Hi, Chelsea.
Chelsea, did you hear why the astronauts broke up?
Did not.
They needed space. Welcome to the show.
There's a lot more dad jokes. Keep them coming.
Chelsea and the Dads, everybody.
That's a good band. I'd go see you.
Thank you.
Chelsea and the Dads.
Just a lot of guys playing like brand new Fender Squires and like shiny Fender amps, and
they're wearing like black vests that clearly have like the fold still from the from the store.
Yeah, let's play Proud Mary again.
Yeah. So this week we wanted Chelsea to join us to tell us about some new stuff that she's working on with the social media thing. If you follow Relevant on Instagram. It's at Relevant Magazine on Instagram. You'll notice that our little icon is up there in the story bar quite a bit because she's doing a lot of stuff throughout the day up there. You want to talk about the new Instagram stories and Snapchat stuff?
To. It's mostly antics around the Relevant office regarding me usually interviewing people. Today is National Pumpkin Day, so I've been asking people pumpkin trivia.
They kind of missed it, didn't they? Don't you feel like National Pumpkin Day would be Halloween?
You would think, but I feel like
today, you have to buy your pumpkins this week, carve them up for Halloween so they're still fresh. They haven't rotted.
So I can go smash them at night. Super fun, guys.
So we will be engaging more with our audiences who have been watching our stories and getting ideas or different things that they want to see in our stories. So if you are following along, know that your voice will be heard.
So what you're on the show to ask people is you want them to lob you questions or things that they want you to do in the story.
Absolutely.
And the relevant,
it involves pranking Cameron's office. That's
largely that's what we're looking for. Yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble legally, but I would like to see some snaps from the voting booth with the relevant stuff.
Now, do they have to be funny or can they be serious or whatever?
The tone tends to be funny, but yeah, I mean, if you have a serious inquiry, we'd love to take it.
That we can answer in 8 seconds or less.
Yeah.
Sure. Glad to.
Chelsea, I was going to say, as you're going around the office and talking to people about National Pumpkin Day, I have some distressing news that I just learned.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Did you guys know that the canned pumpkin that you get for making pumpkin pies and whatnot is not actually pumpkin?
What?
What
is it?
Yeah. It's just weird. There's no real pumpkin in it, right? I mean, it's literally
actual pumpkin is too watery and stringy. So it's like any variant of other squashes, like butternut squash and spaghetti squash and things that are not as watery as pumpkin. So maybe none of us actually know what pumpkin tastes like.
I think that's the thing. I heard pumpkin is basically tasteless and it doesn't taste very good.
It is.
It's just an invention.
It's
like pumpkin
fibrous
flavor.
Like the shape of a pumpkin is more conducive to a face and making a cute character than a butternut squash.
Yeah.
Butternut squash. Now that's a vegetable. All right. So it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
For this week's question of the week, it's what Chelsea just said. We want to know what you would like to see her do on our Insta Snap or Instagram stories and Snapchat. If there's questions you want her to poll the office, if there's challenges, if there's questions you have about relevance and behind the scenes stuff you want to see, whatever you want to see happen, hit us up and let us know.
Okay.
You can tell us on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com, or you could post or tweet us your ideas at Relevant Podcast. There you go.
Well said.
I got some ideas.
I want to know more
Yeah, I
about
do.
Eddie. I want to see Eddie.
We
got to get a week's
The
worth of
man,
Eddie
the
on
mystery.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Wednesday Insta Snap feed should be all Eddie all the time.
Snapchat filters with Eddie.
There's almost nothing left for people to know about me. I mean,
Here's
at this
what I
point,
wanna
we're
see.
at just the minutia of what you could possibly...
But they haven't seen you with
The
all the
man
funny
behind the
Snapchat
glasses.
filters on your face.
I know, Snapchat filters.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Chelsea.
Thank you for having me.
Many thanks to our guest, Lupita Nyong'o, for joining us. Make sure to check out her film. It's out now. It's the Queen of Katye.
You know what I noticed about her interview as we were listening to it? You could tell what she was saying.
She's good friends with the interviewer.
Interesting.
Really good friends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's no sounds of water splashing, no freeway.
She's clearly not on the back of a motorcycle while recording it.
Just picked up an iPhone and sat in a quiet room and conducted
I'm glad she waited till the hurricane out in the middle of the field that she was in ceased to do the phone call. That was considerate of her.
Yeah, it really
She might
was.
have even been in a hotel on a landline. Who knows?
Who
It
knows?
worked.
Who knows?
So many options. And thanks to our sponsor, Squarespace, for making the show possible. Remember, you can go to squarespace.com and enter offer code RELEVANT to get 10% off your first purchase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the new issue of Relevant is out now, so go over to relevantmagazine.com and subscribe quickly and you'll get this issue. It's also on newsstands nationwide, like a lot of Barnes & Nobles. And if you're on a tablet device, you can go to your tablet app store and get the interactive digital edition.
I just saw the tablet edition. It's insanely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I love it so much.
It's the best thing we do.
That actually always hurts my feelings, but continue on. I happen to feel like we do a pretty good work here.
Can I say this, Cameron? By a large margin. It is not even close.
It makes up for what we call call internally the Friday disaster.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
I'm Chelsea Steele.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Joy Eggertree.
I'm Jesse Carey.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
So scary.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Connect with us on Twitter @RelevantPodcast and get bonus material from this episode and more at the podcast section on relevantmagazine.com. And don't forget to check the magazine out. It's available on newsstands and at the iTunes App Store, or you can subscribe online at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
The bell, the crowd, the fight was on, and the devil leaped in fury. With all his evil tricks, he came undone. He threw his jabs of hate and lust, a stab of pride and envy, but the hands that knew no sin blocked every one. 40 days and nights they fought, and Satan couldn't touch him. Now the final blow, saved for the final round. Prophetically, Christ's hands came down, and Satan struck in vengeance. The blow of death.
Cameron, mine son didn't have any bristles left. I'm just rubbing my teeth with plastic at this point.